am not a very big fan of stuffed peppers, so I think I've got a remedy for that. We're going to change it up a little bit. I don't like to bite into a big old piece of pepper, and I don't like them raw. So if this is you, I got a solution. So let's get started and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Welcome to our channel. We're all about faith, family, home, and farm. Come on in and grab a chair and sit a spell with us. If you like readable versions of all of our content, be sure to check out both of our blogs. The links to our blogs will always be in the description box below our videos. I'm going to try something with stuffed peppers, but I saw this little hack and I'm going to try to break it down and make a stuffed pepper casserole. I've never ate stuffed peppers, and I've never ate a stuffed pepper casserole, but dear hubby wants to try it, and I'm like, okay, I got to get out of my little box and go check out some things. Okay, come out wherever you are, and let's try this. So I saw this little thing where you just make it in a casserole form. Now, since we are on a work trip, I am going to be using my Instant Pot and my air fryer. I'm going to be combining them, and yeah, so this is what I'm going to try. I have taken brown rice and I let it soak all day in some water to just kind of help it along a little bit and soften it up a little bit. Now, in order to get some of that starch out that always comes in rice, I have took a fine mesh strainer and I poured it in there and I just rinsed it off until the water ran clear and just put it in this bowl. Okay, I'm going to take my rice and put it in my Instant Pot. Now, the equivalents to the measurements to rice per water ratio in the Instant Pot, it may be just like it is on the stove. For every 1 cup of rice, you want to do 1 1/4 cup of water. You're keeping 1-to-1 ratio, but you just add a quarter more. So if this is 2 cups, 1 1/4 and 1 1/4 is 2.5. Okay, do the math. So I got 2.5 cups of water, and I added a little beef bouillon cube because I don't really just like rice boiled in water. I want to bump up the flavor a little bit, and I just put a beef bouillon cube in there, or you can put a chicken. You're going to put your lid on. Make sure it's on sealing, not venting. Now, if your Instant Pot has a rice button, go ahead and hit your rice button, okay? And I will do that in a minute because mine has a rice feature. If yours doesn't, hit the pressure cook. And go down to we're going to go down to 8 minutes, okay? Then it will, as soon as you hit the 8 minutes, if your Instant Pot says pressure cook, then you go through this step. If your pressure cooker just has what's called, and it says a manual button, that's the same thing as the pressure cook button. So some of these Instant Pots have different motherboards on them, okay? Different buttons. Okay, but I'm going to hit cancel. Since mine does have a rice button, I'm just going to hit my rice button, okay? Okay, see? It went off. And it says auto, okay? Which means that it's going to go through the cooking process, the cooling down process. I'm probably not going to have to quick release or anything. So we'll see what this does, okay? Now, y'all, you can boil your rice in water. You can do beef bouillon cubes. You can do chicken bouillon cubes, chicken broth, vegetable broth, beef broth, bone broth, just anything to give it a little extra flavor. Okay, so just know that, okay? Okay, this just beeped at me. It's done with that cycle on the rice cycle. Now it's going into keep warm mode and a natural release. So when it starts this step right here where it has the L, you're going to let it just come down to pressure and just let it naturally release anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. So while that is still hanging out, I'm going to show you what I've got done. I've already got some of my prep work done. I have cut up a orange onion and a red onion. I wish there would have been a yellow onion in this pack, but they didn't have all three colors, so that's okay. Y'all, you can use green bell peppers if you want to. We just don't like the bitter taste of the green. We like the orange, red, and yellow sweet peppers. You can do a diced yellow onion, purple onion, whatever you want to do to add it a little more crunch and flavor. But y'all, I just had a whole bunch of green onions on hand. I'm just using what I've got. Now, for your topping, and then here, I'm sorry, let me back up. I'm going to be using, to flavor mine with, you can use just regular ground beef, you can use ground turkey, ground chicken, you can use ground chuck, whatever you want. But I'm going to bump it up a notch and I'm going to use mild Italian sausage. Yes, and bump it up and give it just a little extra flavor. If you use ground beef, put the seasonings in it that you want to, okay? We're just going to go with this and just check the flavor profile. For the top, when I get ready to do the casserole version and I get ready to transfer it to the air fryer, of course you know you're going to want cheese on top. Play around with your cheese. You can use any cheese that you want to. You can use mozzarella. You can use pepper jack. You can use anything. I just so happen to have Colby on hand and I have shredded me some. When it comes out of the air fryer, okay, and it's baked that ooey gooey cheese on top, then I'm going to put the green onions on top of that. Then we're going to serve it up. But in the meantime, let's let this hang out for anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes, and then we'll check it and see what it looks like. Then we will start assembling and go to the next step. Let me pop in here for just a second while we're waiting on that. We're still waiting, like waiting on a woman, okay? You don't have to go through the pre-soak method like I did with the rice and let it soak all day long, but I would request and suggest rinsing it. But you don't have to do the pre-soak method. The reason why I do that is because dear hubby is pre-diabetic, and if you know anything about diabetes, starch turns to carbs too, and all that starchiness is kind of like a carb, and when I pre-soak it, it helps get a bunch of that starch off. Now, he can eat brown rice better than he can eat white rice. White rice he just cannot do, but he can do brown rice, and that's why I chose brown rice instead of white. And then I pre-soaked it to remove some more of that excess starch, draw it out, and then I rinsed it till it ran clear. So you don't have to do that. If you don't have a problem with rice and you don't want to do that, skip that step, okay? Okay, it has done its thing and it has naturally released for the amount of minutes, and I went ahead and hit the cancel button. So we're gonna, and it's all the steam is let out. So we're gonna open this up. Woo, hot. And we're gonna say, and y'all, I just figured out these handles right here. That's what that's for. I just figured that out. Well, actually, I saw somebody else do it. Look at this, y'all. Perfect rice. Look at that. Fluffy. Fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. Okay, now I'm going to take this rice out for the time being and find me a bowl and transfer it over to. Then I'm going to brown this mild sausage. So let me transfer the rice to a bowl. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I got my rice in the bowl. I'm going to hold it there for a second. We're just going to hit the saute mode. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to plop our sausage we're going to try to plop our sausage. And we are going to brown this up. Oh, get that paper off. We're going to brown this up. Now, y'all, if I would have thought once about it, I could have saved time and let the rice be cooking, and I could have used my little electric skillet that I now have in my kitchen box and been browning up the Italian sausage. I could have already had this step already done, but I wasn't thinking. So now we're going to saute it up in here. If I add any more seasonings, it's probably going to be salt and pepper. And I might add a little garlic. Now, I'm pretty sure this Italian sausage has got all these seasonings in it. But just to kind of like to satisfy my curiosity, I may add just a little bit more. And in our Italian seasoning, we like a little extra oregano. So that's all I'm going to do, y'all. You don't have to add these extra seasonings if you buy the Italian sausage. We just like that strong Italian seasoning flavor. So we're just gonna, just in case they didn't put enough to our liking, we're gonna add a little extra. So salt and pepper. Okay, just a teeny tiny bit. That's enough. Hoach it. Or whoop, as my mama and my papa would say. You know how like when you go to Olive Garden and there's grating up that Parmesan cheese for you and they're like, say when, and you just sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there and then finally you're like, when? And you scare them half to death. Okay, we are going to get this sauteed up. Now, here's the kicker. I want to soften my peppers. I don't want that just crunch into a raw pepper, y'all. I'm going to soften my peppers and cook it in with this sausage as it's sauteing to get some of that juice into these peppers and just soften them a teeny tiny bit along with my onion. That's a lot of peppers, y'all, but we're going to try this. Now, y'all, I didn't have a recipe with correct measurements. I'm eyeballing this, y'all. You know me. Now, we are going to soften the peppers and brown the Italian sausage together and let those flavors and the juices from the sausage marinate into the onions and the peppers. And it's going to be wonderful, y'all. Just another thing. By all means, y'all, you can do this in a casserole dish, okay? You can still stuff your peppers if you like those and you like them that way. This will be your filling to put inside your peppers. But y'all, you know how like when you sit down to eat one of those big thick peppers, you got to try to figure out how to slice it and cut it to eat it, okay? This takes out all that guesswork. It's already mixed up and cut up for you. You're just doing it in casserole form. And by all means, yes, if you, I don't have an oven, so I'm going to do the next step in my air fryer. But y'all, you can do this in the oven in a 9x13 casserole dish or a smaller casserole dish, by all means. And then do this in your oven, okay? I'm just checking for doneness. I do not want to see any more pink. I want to be on the safe side. I'm just checking for doneness, okay? Now that it's done, we're going to put our rice over in here. And y'all, I may have too much rice. I don't know, y'all. First, we're going to see if I need the extra rice. I might can use that for something else. Let's just see if I'm going to need it at all. I want these flavors to marry, okay? Let's get married. I don't think I'm going to need that extra rice, y'all. I think this is good right here. I'll use this little chunk right here for something else. I will probably have to eat it, so that way. Okay, I just want to stir this up very good. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off and stop the cooking process because I don't want the peppers to get mushy. I just want a little softened and not raw. And I don't want my rice to start burning either. Okay. We got all that together. Now comes the next part. We're going to start taking this rice and we're going to start ladling it over into our casserole dish. If you're doing this in the oven, grease you a 9x13 casserole dish, okay? I'm going to have to split these between both of my silicone liners. We will be eating off this for a couple of days, y'all, and this is good. Let me see how much I need for the other one. I'm going to use both of these. That will fill up a 9x13 casserole dish, y'all. I'm trying to hurry up and get it out of here so my rice doesn't start sticking to the Instant Pot. It's still hot. Starchy things will do that, y'all. Y'all, honestly, y'all, this is smelling pretty good. I think I'm going to be able to do this, y'all. I think I'm going to like this. Because, and I'm just flopping it everywhere, y'all. I'm sorry. That was just sauteing. Let me get the rest of these evenly in these two silicone liners. Okay, we got it all in here. I've switched, got my air fryer over here ready to go. Now the next part is putting cheese on top, but like you would put cheese on top of each one of your individual peppers, you're gonna do the same thing on the top of here. Now, dear hubby does not like as much cheese as I do. I'm cheesy, okay? So I'm gonna just put a little on his first and then I'll use what's left. He doesn't like a lot of cheese on his. Just enough to give it that cheese on top. And then I will just load mine up, okay? He doesn't like as much cheese as I do. That should be enough for him, okay? I will get the rest. And if I see that's not enough cheese for me, I will go grate me some more. But we're going to use the rest of this on top of mine, and it's probably going to be about the same amount. And like I said, if I want some more, I'll just go get me some more. So let's use all this, and then we're going to get these ready to go in the air fryer. I will do his first because I want a little more cheese on mine. So I'm going to go ahead and put his in there, and then while I am grating me up some more cheese, we will let his be baking. So I love these little handles on here, y'all. So easy to transfer something into your air fryer. We are going to let these bake just long enough to melt that ooey gooey cheese on top. Let me get you up here where you can see. 350, and then we're going to switch to, let's start out with 10 minutes first. Now halfway through here, this gives me an alert to shake or check. So in about 5 minutes, we'll check it and see. And we'll just keep gandering at it till it's like I want it, but we're going to start out with 10 minutes. Let me grate me some more cheese and load mine up with some more cheese. Let's see what this looks like, y'all. Okay, it's going through the cool down stage. Okay, are y'all ready? Ready to peek? Fooled ya. No, I'm serious, y'all. Come on. Oh my gosh. Do y'all see that? I like a crusty, brownish kind of cheese. You don't have to get yours this long. I like this. Y'all can stop it at 7 minutes if you want to, whatever. But this is exactly like I like it. Me likey. Ooh, this is gonna be hot. Woo. Because now I'm fixing to have 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, now let's get mine in there. Woo! I tell you what, I will cut it down to about 7 minutes. I'll do mine for 7, just in case dear hubby don't want his like a crusty kind of cheese. I'll just do his for 7 minutes. So let me get his going. 350, I said. But this one right here is right up my alley. Oh, my pizzas. I like my cheese looking like this. Okay, let's go down to, let's do 7 minutes. Let's do 6 minutes on his, or the second one, and see which one we like the best. Start. Now, I am going to go ahead and cut me some green onions to go on top. Where y'all at? Right here, where y'all can see. Hold on. Woo, move that back. Now, y'all can see, I'm going to go ahead and put me some green onions on top. And I'm going to go ahead and do a taste test on this one because I know that's what y'all been hanging around for. You wanted to see how this turned out. Well, we're fixing to see. But y'all, any kind of cheese is going to be wonderful on this. I think that's good right there. Any kind of cheese is going to be wonderful on this, y'all. You can go a step further and put you some sour cream on top if you want to. Let's dig into this. Oh, I love breaking open crusty cheese, y'all. I told y'all I'm cheesy. I'm sorry. No, I'm not apologizing. That's just me, and that's what I like. But we're going to do this one a little lesser and see which one turns out the best. Y'all, look at that plate. Look at that. Get a gander. You see that? Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh, can you smell it? Okay, I'm going to get me a spoon or a fork, whichever one I want, and we'll do a taste test. Okay, y'all. I'm going to see if I can do this. Like I said, I don't like stuffed peppers. This takes the trying to figure out a strategy of how to cut that pepper open. Okay? And cut it and slice it and eat it and take a bite. This takes the guesswork out of it. Can you see that? Okay? Because it's just all right there. All you got to do is just go like, I want to get some cheese first. You just cut it. I'll let you see it. It's all up in my face, y'all. All right, let's get some peppers just to see if I can do this, y'all. And if you're like me, you're the same way. You don't like stuffed peppers because they're too crunchy, or you get a big bite of pepper. I'm going to hurry up and do this one so I can keep an eye on his. It's at the halfway mark, so let's taste test this. If I want to, I might add some sour cream. If not, I won't. So let's just try to taste it. I just took this out, y'all, so I know it's hot. I'm under the fan, too, so maybe that'll help cool it down some. Okay. The flavor's there. I'm still getting crunchy peppers. I'm okay with that because if you order a pizza, they don't roast their peppers or saute their peppers first. They're still a little crunchy, but yet soft. So I'm still tasting the peppers. The flavor is there. Might add a little extra salt. The flavor's there. Guys are coming in from work. Y'all, I think I can do this. I can do this. I'm going to take another little bite. I believe I can do this. Now, this is going to be right up dear hubby's alley. I can tell you right now, he is going to like this. Because he wanted to try the stuffed peppers anyway. I didn't. I'm a crybaby, okay? So, this is going to be right up his alley. And I think just melting the cheese just a little bit, not getting it crusty like I like it, he's going to like that one a whole lot better. I'm going to try it again. I can do this. Trust me. Let me swallow, okay? Trust me. If you don't like stuffed peppers because of the big bite of pepper you get, and then trying to figure out how to slice it and eat it, this is for you. This is just for you. That is good, y'all. I honestly didn't think I was going to like it because I was like, what if I don't like this? I got some leftovers. I told dear hubby, if I make this and I don't like it, you get to eat all this. I'll eat the other that we've got leftovers from the other night. So I was prepared. But y'all, I honestly think I can do this. The peppers are at, I'm fixing to check his. The peppers are at a crunch that's like on a pizza topping. Okay? Y'all, I can do this. I found something else that I can eat. Okay? Another recipe to put in our recipe books. And it's so simple to do in the Instant Pot, in the air fryer. Now, if you, rice is always simple to make in the Instant Pot, y'all. You just dump and turn it on and walk away and let it do its thing. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot and you don't want to do your rice in the Instant Pot, by all means, boil your rice in a pot on the stove. Then marry everything, saute your meat while your rice is cooking. I could have done that to cut down on time. I'm cutting it kind of close. He's fixing to be here. So that's perfect. So yeah, boil your rice in a pot, saute your meat up, then marry, and your peppers, then marry them, whatever. I can do this, y'all. Yay! I can do this. He's going to like that one a whole lot better, okay? So that is stuffed pepper casserole. If you don't like the big old fat stuffed peppers, this one's for you. I will see y'all in the next one.